Oh yeah, you know what that is? Some of you don't know what that is, and I'm going to tell you. That right there is an engine hoist, so you know what's about to happen. What's going on, everybody? Today is the day. As you can tell, I don't have my thick hoodie right now, and that's because it's really warm outside. I have my wooden pallets. You already seen the engine hoist. The engine is coming out today. I just have to knock out a few more things, wait for my friend to get off work from a couple hours from now, and the engine's gonna be out. It's gonna be sitting on those wooden pallets. So stay tuned and just enjoy the video. So I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but I did attempt to remove the drive shaft, and I ended up not having the right socket for it. And I also tried to remove the exhaust, and my wrench ended up breaking. But this time, I brought some tools from a friend, and he has the proper tools for what I'm trying to do. So I should be able to knock everything out before he gets off. He gets off in like the next 2 to 3 hours from now, and there should be enough time for me to get done with everything I have to do. Like I said, I gotta remove the exhaust, the drive shaft, and I think I gotta remove like the shifter inside the car, and maybe some other stuff inside the engine bay. I don't plan on calling it quits until this engine's out and it's on those wooden pallets over there. So I don't know how long it's gonna take. Hopefully it shouldn't take that long. It is just me right now, and I've been knocking things out for the past 4 or 5 videos that you've seen. So I just removed the drive shaft from the transmission. Wasn't that hard to do. I've been soaking those in WD-40 as well for the past couple of days. Next up is the exhaust. It's only 2 bolts, and I have like a really long wrench that I got from my friend. It's like, I don't know, like that big, so there's a lot of leverage. So it should be really quick and light work. So follow me. Alright, so I'm underneath the car, and so I got this really long wrench, and there's 2 bolts for the exhaust. There's one on this side which you can't see, and then there's another one on this side. I got a 12 mil and a 14 and a 13 and another 12 mil. And because I have this long wrench, it shouldn't be that hard to do. So I am going to get started. Okay, that's fun. I'm going to set this off to the side so I won't lose it. Probably won't be using it again, but at least I know where it will be. Next, back up because I don't want gravity to take hold and have this thing drop in my face. You never know. Okay, gravity didn't take control, so I'm safe. I'm gonna cut this O2 sensor out the way because I'm gonna end up getting some new ones, and then I'm going to remove the fuel lines and knock this transmission mount off. I'm gonna get like a block of wood and get my jack stand for that. So. There you go. I think I'm gonna do the transmission mount first before I do the fuel line. Yeah. So I personally don't know the size for these bolts, but I'm going to assume that they are like a 14 mil. Is it long enough? It's long enough. So I just removed the shifter. I don't know why, but it took me a little bit longer than I thought. But now that's done, I'm going to start removing the fuel lines and also double check to see if there's any wiring or any hoses left underneath the hood. So when me and my buddy started taking out the engine, nothing will get snagged. He should be here in a couple hours or so. So I'm gonna get that thing done and then start assembling the engine hoist. So when he gets here, he doesn't have to do any work besides jacking the engine out and as I'm guiding it. So I'm gonna start disconnecting the fuel lines. Now, I tried my best to empty out as much of the petrol out of this car as I can. It got to the point where the light's on right now, so hopefully I shouldn't have any problems. I really don't want to smell like petrol at all, but just to make sure, I'm gonna pray. I really hope that I don't get any fuel on me, because that's like one of the worst smells next to gear oil. Lord, if you're listening, help! Now with that being done, let's get started. I don't see any fuel. I'll see a little bit. Not a lot. My main concern is just make sure I don't get any fuel on my like on my hoodie. I don't care if it's on my gloves, it's not on my clothes. Alright, so lines are disconnected. It wasn't that much fuel, but luckily none of it got on me, just on the gloves. I got the 2 fuel lines right there just dripping out. There was a lot more coming out than that, but that's done. That's done. I'm gonna end up removing this bar right here so I can get more clearance for the transmission to go through, so I can like lower the bottom or the back part of the transmission to make it easier for the engine and trans to come out. I got about an hour left to finish up all the miscellaneous things I gotta do before my friend gets here, so I'm gonna knock all that stuff out right now. By the looks of it, there's like a heat shield and some other stuff that I already mentioned that has to be taken off, but I'm gonna get to work because I'm getting kind of hungry, and I at least want to try to get some food before he gets there, so I have like a little break before we take this thing out. So unfortunately, I forgot to record the work that I was doing, but let me just go through it. The first thing I did, there was a heat shield inside this area blocking off from the exhaust manifold. I ended up removing that. I don't know if I had to, but I didn't want that. I didn't want to run the risk of that being in the way. Next up, there was like there was a few vacuum lines running from like on this bar. Removed that as well. The vacuum line for the brake booster, ended up removing that. Taking that out. So this is out. Ended up taking that out. There was a wire, a ground wire, or wires for the fuse box. I ended up removing that as well. So like it was this wire right. It was this wire right here that I ended up removing. So now this wire runs freely. So this wire used to be in this fuse box. So that's disconnected. Make sure that the coolant lines, like these coolant lines right here. I don't know if you can see it, but these coolant lines right here that I'm moving, that you can see. Ended up double checking to make sure that that is completely disconnected from the engine as well. And I think the last thing I gotta do, at least that I can see, is it's like this rubber piece down here that make sure that the engine doesn't knock into the subframe. But I took the bolts out underneath there, and I think there's a bolt underneath the subframe that I gotta remove, and then I still gotta remove the bar. The engine mounts are disconnected from both sides, and I think that's it. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm gonna end up finding out what's still connected as the engine is getting pulled out. So I ended up removing the bar I was talking about, and I'm pretty happy that I did, because if I didn't, I'm pretty sure as the engine and transmission would have been coming out, this would have snagged in the transmission, and I probably would have had to maneuver it a little bit more different. But because this is out the way, it's more free. And now I'm gonna start getting ready to put the hoist together, and then by the time I'm done, my friend should be here to help me out. Probably you've seen him before in the first video, so that's who's gonna be coming. That's the person who let me borrow his tools so I can finish this up. So I just got done putting the engine hoist together, and they ended up giving me these chains to hook the engine up to. And the problem with this is that this engine doesn't have have hooks like this, so there isn't a way for me to hook this up to the engine. So my guess is that I'm going to try to just hook them up to the intake and the exhaust manifold. When my friend comes in here, when my friend comes, I'm gonna ask him if that's a good idea or not. If he gives me the green light, then we're just gonna hook him up like that. But I gotta take off the heat shield from the exhaust manifold to hook up the hooks to the to that side. So I'm gonna get to work on that. It's like 4 or 6 bolts. I think it's like 4 bolts. So that should be done in the next 2 or 3 minutes or so. My buddy just came in, and he's gonna be helping me now. First, we're gonna end up taking off this hood, and then after that, we're gonna end up knocking this engine out, and it's gonna be one successful day of trying. Okay. Yep. Okay. You want to keep this? Hold on. Why did you get this set up? So what? Oh boy. Yes. Yeah, I know, right? That's a good luck.
It's like I've done this before.
You probably have done it before.
I haven't.
Alright. Another tricky part. You're ready, Wayne. Hold on. Yeah, that part. Yeah, that bar's gonna get removed.
Oh, yeah, I was that.
Engine is out. We did it. So it ran out of daylight yesterday, but we were able to take out the engine. My friend and I was, and for the most part, it went pretty well. Not a lot of stuff went wrong. There was a few connectors that was broken. So one of my biggest regrets is that I wish we'd have took off the valve cover, because if we would have took it off, we would have saved a lot of time, and we probably would have bent the bar or maybe broke the connectors. But hindsight's 20/20. It is what it is. But it is out, and pretty happy about it. I will be putting this up for sale pretty soon, and then start going on for the next build. for this car. I'm actually gonna start cleaning it in the next video, or not the engine, but just the engine bay and whatnot. I'm gonna clean the engine bay, clean up the garage, because you can tell it's a mess. There's some stuff back there that I'm gonna move around, but it is a mess. So I'm gonna end up cleaning that. But I am pretty happy. I didn't even know. I knew there was room, but I didn't know there was so much room inside this engine bay. And the engine I'm getting is gonna fit pretty damn good inside here. I'm not gonna lie. So that's it for the video. If you like this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. You know, all that stuff. I do be posting video games. I might be posting one pretty soon after I get done cleaning the garage and the engine bay and whatnot. But that's it. I'll see you all next time.